to me, the book is your gateway to build upon. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we do. Once you have a book draft written and you have your chapters and your outline, then you kind of come to the fork in the road. At that point, you make the decision whether you want to find a traditional publisher or you want to self-publish. A traditional publisher, whether we like it or not, will only publish books that are going to be a sure thing. They don't want to put their time, their effort, their money into creating this book unless they know it's going to sell. Because the publishing houses have gotten smaller, and well, the houses themselves are big, but it used to be, when I got involved in this 20 years ago, there were hundreds of different publishing companies, and that isn't true anymore. And it's because of the number of people that are self-publishing. But what a publisher is going to look for is your metrics. And the metrics vary based on the publisher. But when I say metrics, they want to know how many books do they think you can sell based on the size of your email list, the number of LinkedIn followers. This is where the social media comes in. How many fans and followers do you have? Because they want to know, what is your reach? You are the person that's going to market this book. The publishing company is not going to make it, is not going to do that. They're going to make the book available because they've created the cover, they've created the interior design, they've run it through their printer, they've got it in Ingram, the warehouse. So they have made, they've produced the book, but they need to know that once they've produced it, you're going to sell it. So if you don't have the metrics, that's not going to be an option. If you do have the metrics, you can't contact a publishing company direct. You have to hire an agent who works in the genre and the industry that works with the publishers that would publish that type of book. If an agent brings you a deal and you accept it, that agent will make money, a percentage on your book for the rest of that book's life. Number one, that's the first chunk off the profitability side of things. The next part is the publisher will take the lion's share. You will, and percentages change, so it's very hard for me to say specifically, but if you can get 10% out of the sale of a book, you are probably doing pretty good, and you probably aren't going to get an advance unless you're a big celebrity. The other thing is that once you do strike this deal with a publisher, they publish 18 months out. Could be 24, but pretty much 18 months out. So the process of getting an agent, the agent pitching the publisher, you coming up with a contract, and then moving forward, it's going to take a few years to get your book out there. So if you have a need to get it out or a desire to get the book out quickly, traditional publishing is going to be harder for you. If you want to make money on the sale of the book, you will make much less per book. However, there will be a bigger distribution, like going out to bookstores. Now, it's not impossible. You can get books into bookstores. I did it. My book is self-published. I had it in every Barnes and Noble, and I had Hallmark gift shops, and so it is possible to do that. But what a publisher really brings is twofold, in my opinion, since you ask. They bring the good housekeeping seal of approval that you were published by McGraw-Hill or Wiley or Random House. So ego comes in, that if you want to say, this is my publisher, they take care of all the details. You get a small percentage. Your book can go into a bookstore, but again, dependent upon your metrics, you're not going to be on an end cap in every Barnes and Noble across the country. What self-publishing brings to the table is that when you're at that fork in the road, you've got your book draft. Now you as an individual hire the editor. You as an individual pay the interior designer. You pay for the book cover. You learn how or pay somebody to get your book up into distribution on Amazon or as many channels as you want. To me, Amazon is the only one that counts. Where do you buy your books, Stephanie?
It's getting more and more, especially after this year, it's Amazon taking the lead.
Exactly. If people weren't buying on Amazon before COVID hit last year, that's their go-to place. So to me, that is the most important place to get it. Now, when somebody goes through my 90-day program, we do have packages that if somebody wants to self-publish, different options for them so that we can take care of it, but they're still paying for it. You know, you go to a publisher, you're not going to get an advance, but you also don't pay to get it out there, but your return is minuscule in comparison. Once you get it up on Amazon, however you do it, on your own or with working with somebody, you will get 70% of the sale of your book. Amazon will take the print cost because they use print on demand technology. In other words, a book doesn't get printed until it's ordered, which is phenomenal, because self-publishing years ago, and is true certainly for The Land If I Can, because it's a gift book, it's hardcover, it's got an embossed dust jacket. That's not something that you can get done through Amazon. But I had to buy a certain number of books to get the price point where I needed it to be, and then store them in a warehouse where Ingram could order out or I could order out as people needed it. So the really beautiful thing about Amazon is that they only print when a book is sold, but you're paying for the cost of that paper. And you're paying for Amazon a small part, in my opinion, to be able to have it for sale. You can have your own imprint. One of the things that I do when I'm working with somebody is we come up with an imprint so that it doesn't say Amazon Create Space or Amazon KDP as a publisher. It's going to be, you know, well, my publishing company is Unity Products and Press, but it could be, you know, like, because lions, my lion there is my favorite avatar. You know, it could be Courageous Publishing Inc. You know, it can be whatever it could be your company name. To me, those are the two main roads. Now, there is a middle of the road. It's called hybrid. And hybrid is a combination. You get a little bit of one, a little bit of the other. You do still have to be accepted to a hybrid publisher. You do still have to have a finished manuscript. They don't do any of the editing. You will get a higher percentage than you would from a publisher, and they do have some distribution. So those are the things that we do as individual business people want to make a decision on when we get to that point where we have the chapters and we have the draft done.
So we can choose at that point which method we're going to go.
Exactly. And as an entrepreneur, again, I'm biased because I believe that we as entrepreneurs know how to build businesses, and this is just one more business, because the book leads to speaking engagements, it leads to high ticket sales, it leads to whatever it is that you know, if you're a chiropractor, it leads to more clients. But that is, to me, the book is your gateway of your idea of what you have put your stake in the ground for. It's your gateway to build upon. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we do.